Cool. Testing, testing. Can you guys hear me? And let me know in the chat. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Okay, perfect. Cool. All right. So I figure just give it a couple minutes, see how many people we get in here. Um yep. See, how do I see the chat on here? Hey guys, if you can hear me, just let me know in the chat, and just gonna maybe give it a couple minutes before I get the box and open it up. Um, But yeah, I'm excited. I've been waiting for this box for a while, so I don't even remember really what's in it. Oh, hey, how you doing, Joe Stein? Good to see you. Um, cool. Yeah, so I'll probably give it like another 2 minutes. I know there were some people who were interested in joining, so um, just gonna message them. But yeah, basically, I think some of these records I ordered back in, I don't know, maybe going back as far as March. So usually, well, so I've got a friend in the UK who is kind enough to let me, send some records to his house. Um, and the reason I would want to do that is because here in the States, it, if you want one record from the UK, which most of these progressive house and trance, they all come from Europe or the UK for the most part on Discogs. So it's like $25 or even more sometimes to ship it to the U.S. Um, but within the UK, it's like 5 pounds, 4 pounds. So if I could send it, you know, if if I could send a bunch of records to my friend's house in the UK, then it's I'm just paying 4 or 5 pounds, and then once there's like 60 records or something, he just ships them to me all at once, and it's yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, so yeah, it definitely saves money. The only downside, which is not it's not even so much of a downside, but you just have to wait a while for the records, depending on how quickly you're buying them. So, oh hey, hidden agenda, good to see you here too. Let's see, I'll give it maybe one more minute, because I know Willie from Super Progressive said he was interested in joining. I should probably credit Willie too for this idea because he started doing all the live streams. Um, so I thought I was going to open this box. So this box got delivered on, I want to say, Tuesday of last week. So I was going to open it. I hadn't gotten around to opening because work and stuff, but I was going to open it. I think this Tuesday, and I sat down. I had it in front of me. I was going to open it, and then I realized it would probably be more fun to open it, with some people on here. just kind of talk about the records. So, um, and actually, that reminds me, I need to go grab the razor blade. One sec. Okay. Here. All right. Okay. So I guess I'll get started. This is going to be recorded, so if anyone misses it, that's fine. So I was thinking of I was going to start the video with the box on the table, but I wanted you guys to see like how heavy this thing is. So I figured I would pick it up and put it down here. Yeah. So this thing is super heavy. This might even be the heaviest one of these I've gotten so far. Um, but yeah. So I guess without further ado, let's go ahead and open this. And I've had it like sitting up like this so that all the records aren't pancakes on top of each other for the last week. But yeah, it's super heavy, and there's a bunch. What I do remember in this box is there's a ton of acetates, and so those are already heavier than regular records. So all right, so we got that open. Let's see. Cool. All right, so I guess I'll put it off to the side here, and then I'll just take things one by one and put it in front of the camera. So, and these aren't all just records either. There's CDs in here, and it's not even all. It's not even all just trance and house. There might be some random stuff in here too. So, um, awesome. So let's get started. So we've got all the CDs on the top here. Really nice packing job, by the way. I don't know if you can kind of take a look at. Not sure if the camera can really see, but here, one sec. Yeah, really nice packing job. Everything's nice and kind of, like a puzzle piece almost. Cool. So I've got this Orbital CD. I've always been a big fan of Orbital ever since I got the Brown album. That was my first Orbital album, with the Halcyon on and on. A classic track from the Mortal Kombat movie and other movies. I think it was in Mean Girls. Um, but yeah, so I've listened to that album a ton. I haven't actually listened to too much of Orbital's other stuff. I mean, I've heard a lot of their kind of I've got the Blue album. I haven't listened to it too much, so definitely I wanted to get more into this experimental kind of realm. It's not so rigidly like one genre or the other, in my opinion. Um, so yeah, excited to get into this. It's actually kind of a cool box here too. It was so long ago that I bought this. I can't remember if there was a particular track that I was interested in hearing, but yeah, there's the Brown album there. There it is. Awesome. Yeah, and for the CDs, I always rip it to FLAC. I use this software called DB Power Amp, which is super great software. I mean, it comes with, it's like $10, $20. It's a one-time fee, but probably the best piece of software I've ever purchased. Because in addition to the CD ripper, which has a ton of features, you can rip to any format, WAV, MP3, FLAC. But right within the software, you can also update the metadata. So I'm very kind of OCD about the metadata. I like to get the capitalization kind of to match Discogs and all of that. But it also comes with a audio converter, So I've got it on Windows, and you could literally highlight, you know, you could right click on an audio file or even 10 audio files at the same time. And then in the little context menu, it'll say convert. You could press that and just right away convert it to FLAC MP3. So it's super handy if you want to, send somebody a file, and bring down the file size, send them an MP3 real quick. Anyway, without further ado, let's continue. So this is one I've really wanted for a while. This is KLF. I think this one's actually I can't remember it, but I feel like a lot of this KLF stuff is really pricey these days, which is probably why I'm just now getting this. Um, Another kind of interesting tidbit about myself, I can't stand listening to things for the first time on YouTube or Spotify. Even I don't even think this one's on Spotify, but um, so this is one that's for years it's been on my want list, but I haven't actually gotten around to listening to it. So I'm excited to give this a first listen. Yeah, this is the KLF Chill Out CD. Oops. Yeah, really great. All right, next up, let's see what we've got here. Oh, this is kind of fun. Like years ago, I think I was in maybe a sophomore in college, actually a freshman in college, I think. I was listening to a lot of kind of psytrance. Um, And this, actually, I'm not sure if it's this same label, but I was listening to a lot of stuff on this label called MDMA Records out of Israel, and they put out a fantastic double mix CD called The Abyss, which actually wasn't, at least the first disc, it wasn't really Psytrance or Goa or any of that. It was a progressive mix with some really great tracks. Probably one of my favorite mixes of all time. But as far as the label goes, pretty much the rest of the label was like, pretty intense, like psy trance. I'm not even sure if it qualified for Goa at that point. It was a bit too modern, I think. But uh, so at the time, I was listening to, I had Spotify and they had a lot of this old stuff on there. So this was one of the records they had on there. I think one of the tracks on here was on disc two of The Abyss. Just want to see here. Yeah, I think it was this Noma Apat Vivant track. Just some really cool, bass textures. Um, pretty fast tracks. Um, so yeah, this is one I've been wanting for a while. I've listened to it a ton on Spotify, but now I've got it, and I think this is unmixed. So just a straight up compilation. So I can use these tracks in a mix now. Uh, let's see. Oh yeah, you remember MDMA Records? Yep. Yeah, I know, right? It's a great name for a label. Um, all right, let's see what else we got here. I think, oh yeah, this is super cool. So Lunatic has always been one of my favorite old, kind of harder trance records. Um, so I think I've got one or two. I think I've got two of the Lunatic label mixes, and they're great. It's all if you're familiar with Luxor or Non Eric. I think Non Eric was the founder of that label, and he had a bunch of aliases. So like D Rex was one of his aliases, and uh, Non Eric, Luxor. It's all him, and maybe some other collaborators. So this is another one of the Lunatic label compilations, and this one I think is the others weren't mixed, but this one is mixed. This is number four. Um, let's see. Yeah, so you can see in the back here, it's got Non Eric, D Rex, Ovation. That's another, I think, another one of his names. So yeah, really great stuff. I love this superstitious track here. Um, I'm not sure if I've heard the Jay Powell mix, but this track was included in one of the old React CDs. I think it was a really old one from 1995 with like a crab or a lobster on it. Yeah, Superstitious by Luxor. Really great stuff. And these are all just the CDs. We haven't even gotten to the records yet. I'm excited. Um, yeah, this one I really wanted to pick up. This is brand new, sealed. One of the more modern Way Out West CDs. I got that John Digweed Live in Montreal CD, and I think it's in the very last disc. So they had Live in Montreal, and then they came out with Live in Montreal Finale. So there's 9 discs total across those, and they all come together to form the whole set that he played back then. And so Tuesday Maybe was on that 9th disc, and it's just a really great kind of emotional, you know, progressive track. So yeah, definitely wanted to get that. And also, I think at the time I had gotten a bunch of records from the Nick Warren collection. So definitely, I'm huge Nick Warren fan, huge Way Out West fan. All right, let's see. Oh, this is another one I've been wanting for years. The famous Oakenfold Dragonfly mix. This what's oh yeah, I see a message in the chat. Yeah, I've been wanting to do a video like this for a while. Um, I, I I never really had the idea to do a live stream, but I was thinking of recording like kind of like a collection showcase video because I've been buying a lot of these more rare records the last couple of years. But honestly, I got to give the credit to Willie at Super Progressive because he's on fire with his streams. He's I know some of you have been in the the interviews with the producers like Voyager. Yeah, super impressed with what he's been able to do. But yeah, so this CD, I've heard so much about this. I've never listened to it. I always find it so interesting that Paul Oakenfold did a Dragonfly mix CD because I've got I think the first 3 of the Order Odonata Dragonfly compilations, and it's like straight on Goa trance, and when you listen to something like Global Underground Oslo or Global Underground New York, you don't really get that kind of sound. And even in like the later Perfecto mixes, uh, and more recently I've listened to some of the older ones like the Fluoro compilation, and there's another one I think it's Perfecto Perfection, and so you get a little man with no name tossed in at the end there, um, but yeah, I'm really excited to listen to this because there's a whole other side of Digweed that I'm not familiar with. Like, yeah, this Total Eclipse, I know that one's on this CD, the one pictured right there. So, um, yeah, looking forward to that one. Let's see. All right, Google account says any new trance or house DJs you listen to? Miss Monique. Yeah, yeah. I've been listening. Honestly, modern, most of my current listening is just like whatever John Digweed's playing or Nick Warren, Hernan. I've been listening to a lot of that stuff. I actually saw Miss Monique in Brooklyn not too long ago, and that was a really fun show. I haven't listened too much to her mixes, but I've seen a couple of the videos, and yeah, it's pretty good stuff. So I thought the show would be fun, and yeah, it turned out it was a great show. All right, here's another one: "The Best of Platypus," mixed by Anthony Papa. This is another one I've been meaning to listen to for years. Um, yeah, I don't know, something about listening on YouTube, like for the first time, it just doesn't do it for me. I want to have that CD quality, and I really want to take it all in the first time I listen to something. So yeah, glad to finally have this, and I got to say too, like again, being in the United States, right? Like buying a $5 CD, but then paying $30 to ship it here, it just like it's put off a lot of these. But you know, now that uh, now that I've got a friend in the UK who doesn't mind me sending stuff over to him, I can just get a bunch of these CDs, right? So it's been super helpful. Okay, yeah, this is another one of those like Psy CDs. So if we go back to to this one. This is from all around the same time. I kept coming across these. Honestly, I don't. Some of this might be kind of, just your average side trance, but it's fun to have in the library. Um, it's pretty energetic stuff. I don't. I haven't really listened to this kind of thing in a while, in like years, but I've got a soft spot for it. Okay, so we've only got two more CDs here, and then we're into the records. There's another classic. This is, I think, the first Way Out West CD. Um, so these are some of the Way Out West classics like Sequoia, Ajare, Blue, The Gift, Domination. Um, so yeah, really, really like this. Yeah, it's really great. And from the Nick Warren collection, I got a few acetates of these tracks. So I got one for Blue, The Gift, Domination. I don't think I have either of these. I think Drive By was on the Blue one. So yeah, super cool. I wanted to have that CD. All right, this is the last one. Oh, this is super cool. This is like a rare promo of Dave Seaman's Cape Town mix. Um, so I've got this mix already, but I just wanted to have the promo in the collection. I've also got a promo similar to this for the Renaissance Awakenings. Um, so yeah, and actually, I have to double check, but I think this one came from Dave Seaman's own collection. Um, so that kind of makes it extra special because it's a promo from the man himself. So, and definitely one of my favorite Global Undergrounds. Um, there's that iconic picture of the Cape Town in the background there. Um, awesome. Cool. All right, let's get into the records here. I'm just going to try and catch up on the chat here. Okay. Yep. Cool. All right, so let me move these out of the way. And just to show you, I mean, the box is still it's like we're still at the top of the box here. So yeah, this will be exciting. All right, so actually this bundle of records here was at the top. This rubber band here, so I'll take that off. We'll just go one by one. Okay, so I don't even remember ordering some of these. So this is the there we've got Black Hole, the Tiesto theme from Norvgel. I don't. Sorry if I butcher the pronunciation. I've always just said Norvgel. It's probably incorrect, but yeah. So it's got that. Yeah, I've heard it's like a Norwegian ski resort. Is that right? Something like that. But yeah, so it's got the Jan and Christoph Shantis mix, and then the Magical remake on this side. I don't have it with me right here, but actually, and I know Hidden Agenda on here he used to have it, but I've got the acetate with not the Magical remake, but the original version, which was used on the In Trance We Trust Volume One, and I think it's the only copy. I don't have it here, but that's uh, it's in one of my other bins. Yeah, super cool. You know personally I like that original version better than this magical remake, but it's pretty worn out. It's a little old, so not the you don't want to be playing it a lot, but yeah, still a great track. Let's see what's next. Okay, yeah, this is like a Seaman classic here. Actually, a Digweed classic too. This Mandalay Deep Love, and let's see. Yeah, we've got the Charlie May remix on this side. Really great track. I haven't heard this Narcosis Project remix. So we'll see how that is. But yeah, I really love this tune. I have to double check. This one might have also come from a lot of these records actually came from Dave Seaman's collection. So I'm not sure if this one did, but it might have. I have to double check. But yeah, super great tune. All right, this one looks interesting. We've got just a white label here, and oh, okay, it's Madeline, a deeper love, beautiful child. This is that track. It's got the fantastic Hiver and Hammer remix. It's not on this release, but a while back I did get an acetate with I think it's his vocal club mix, and I was looking on YouTube and I couldn't find it anywhere. Like there are a bunch of different versions uploaded, but not one called vocal club mix. So before I put the acetate up, I found this release that had it. So I wanted to actually see if it's the same track before I put it out there. Um, but yeah, it was actually a pretty good version. It's not, the Hiver and Hammer one. That one's just on another level. But this one was a bit more subdued. Um, yeah, so it's a good one. All right, let's see what else we've got. Hey Dale, how you doing? Glad you could make it. Um, huh. Okay, this is pretty funny. I have no idea what this is. It just says two good tracks. Um, and then it says 33. I'm not sure what this is. Maybe another 33, but nothing on this side. Yeah, I've got no idea what this is. I was looking to see if there was like a PR sheet, but there's nothing in there. Yeah, so we'll see what that turns out to be. Um, yeah, it's funny. Some of the oh yeah, that's a good idea. The run out groove. Let's see. Okay, there's something on here. Let's see. It says, not sure if the camera can you see that? It says 5400 and then space 101-A1. Not sure if that's helpful enough. Back almost it looks single sided, but it's got oh yeah, that's I guess it's single sided. Those are just marks from a slip mat or something. Um, let's see. Yeah, we'll find out what it is, and I'll let you guys know. It's funny. Some of the records I got from Nick Warren's collection. So the way the Nick Warren collection worked, there was like an auction on this website, and they grouped a bunch of records into different lots. So each lot would have like 60 records or something. And so there was one lot that was just it was like plain white labels, like you had no idea what any of them were. Um, so I picked that up, and I was going through them a while back, and one of them just said like on one side it's a good track, and then on the other side it just said like great track. So a bunch of handwritten notes like that. There was one that said like uh, it was like great melodic mid set. So I'm excited to go through those. I haven't really played any of those because just been so busy. I have a whole backlog of records, and the next step for all these is I got to clean them. I've got the record cleaning machine here. I'll show you in a bit, but yeah. All right, let's see what's next here. So we've got this classic Red Light District. Did you hear me? We got the Phase 2 mix, Phase 1, Phase 3. Anytime you see that phase, that's was that Toucher? Um, like Waters. I think this one was also on In Trance We Trust one. So yeah, really great track. Um, you can see these are all like dirty. They need to be cleaned, but um, cool. So we got that. All right, let's see. What else do we have here? All right, this one looks cool. We've got This one's got a PR sheet here. So we've got Sugar Cube Recordings, New York Alliance, Ronald Reagan, Killer Beats. This man, absolute killer on the melodic house tip. Um, yeah, not sure where this one came from, but yeah, this track was on the Tiesto mix. It was one of the Lost Treasures CDs. I think it's the Creatures of the Deep, the third one. It's a super cool track. And like, it's pretty, I guess these days, kind of a more obscure track. So yeah, pretty stoked to have that one. Um, Sorry, just one sec here. I got a message. Okay. All right. Next up. Okay, this is a cool one. Uh, so this is an acetate, and it is Yahel Voyage. It looks like a single sided there. Um, I'll just take that out just to kind of so it's got like a a real heft to it compared to these other records, and you take it out and it's like if I you can hear it's like a metal. It's got a metal core, and these single-sided ones too. The back of them are like mirrors with how clean they are. So it actually looks in pretty good shape. If I remember, the person who sold this said it was. I think they gave it a pretty low grade, but it doesn't actually look too bad to me. I don't really. I'm trying to look for scratches. I don't see anything too bad. So we'll clean it up and see how it sounds. With the acetates, I've really found that if you don't clean them, uh, like they could look mint, but if you don't clean them, you'll get a lot of surface noise. They're really finicky that way, and so I'll clean them usually right before I record them, and I usually play them maybe once or twice, um, but after that they'll sound usually like if they're in good shape, they'll sound better than any record that was pressed. That's part of the reason I like buying them. Uh, aside from the fact that they're usually one-offs and pretty rare. So um, I have to check where this one came from, but there's a chance this one might have been Tiesto's, if I remember correctly, which also is like a huge, makes it super, super cool. So we'll put that back in this outer here. And I'll talk more about what I've learned about acetates. All right, so that's like the first. Let me move these out of the way. That's the first batch in this box. So if I bring the box back over here, you'll see there's like another section here. Um, okay, so there's this like mini box in there. So we'll open this one up. Yeah, hidden agenda. Foon is a Dutch cutting house. Yep. Yeah, I've noticed a lot of like the Tiesto, the famous Tiesto tracks and um, yeah, a lot of like the Svensson and Gielan. They seem to be cut at Foon. All right, cool. Okay, so this might be a box of just completely just acetates. I think a lot of these are going to come from Dave Seaman's collection. Sorry, just one sec. I want to make a little room over here. Okay. So yeah, well, this is part of the reason I want to make this video too, because a lot of these records, are one-offs, so you're not going to really see these anywhere. So this is what is this? Rifa? Huh. Oh, okay, there it is. Rifa, Stop the Groove. So I think it's You Can't Stop the Groove. which was kind of I think it came out on Stress. Um, Joe Stein. Do you remember how much you spent on honestly, I don't know how much I've spent on it in total, but it's been a tremendous amount. I could tell you that. I mean, it's I've been slowly buying a ton of them over the last 2 years, and, yeah, I've been basically spending all my free money on it. You know, once I got the first few, I was addicted, to buying the acetates. I'm sure, Hidden Agenda can vouch that it's a, it's definitely kind of an addiction, and it's a super niche hobby too. Like, I started to find out, like, I started to be on Discogs every day, just looking for what acetates would pop up and reading about the different acetates. And you'll notice it's like the same 4 or 5 people for the most part that are like uploading all the images and selling all of them or trying to buy all of them. So it's funny. It's you know, a small community, um, but yeah, I mean these acetates are super cool. The I'm far from an expert, but from what I've researched, I mean, it's essentially as close as you can get to the original master, aside from like if you had like a DAT tape or you know the actual digital source if it was digital. Um, but they've got like a big machine called a lathe, which has I think it's a sapphire. It's got some kind of sapphire or some kind of stone that literally there's a platter and this metal disc sits on it and it's coated in this lacquer and the sapphire vibrates and it cuts the track in real time, like the track is playing and the machine is cutting it in real time. And it's got like a helium gas tube that cools the tip of that sapphire so it doesn't get too hot. But yeah, so it's basically just a direct transfer of the master onto an acetate. And it's actually an integral part of the record production process too, the record pressing process. Because usually what they'll do um, is they'll have there's acetates like these. This is a 10-inch one, but usually they're 12-inch. And before they send off the order to the pressing plant, they'll cut an acetate as a reference to see. Okay, they'll put it on the turntable, see how it sounds, and if it sounds good, then they'll cut another. It's a larger acetate, but it's larger and it's used. It's called a stamper, uh, and so they actually use that. I think it's called a stamper. I'm not sure, but they use that to actually they use that to create the stamper, which is a negative of this. Um, so yeah, it's basically the acetate is a few steps ahead of the actual final records that get pressed. And so it goes acetate, test pressing, white label, promo, release. So this is as close as you can get to the original master as far as the records go. At the same time, though, I think anybody back then could walk into a mastering house and just have their own acetate cut. Let's see, just trying to catch up on the chat here. Um, yeah, so yeah, they so as far as like so they do wear out, and it's because it's there's a lacquer that's coated on the metal, and so it's not like a vinyl where it's you know you can play the vinyl a ton of times. These will wear out, so I try not to play them too often, but um, but if it's in good shape, because I think it's so close to that master recording, from what I've been able to tell, like a really clean acetate will sound better than a really clean record, just because you know it's heavy, it's not gonna wobble as much, and yeah, and it was just that much closer. Because if you think about it, the records are pressed from the negative, so the records are kind of more, they're like a derivative product of this. So it's like you're making a copy of a copy further down the line. But yeah, you're right. They will wear out. So a lot of times with the acetates, I've found you get a lot of surface noise, mostly in the intro, probably because that's where the DJ was handling the most. They're touching it. Um, so yeah, so I try to record them in digitally, and then I don't really play them much after that, and I just kind of keep them for collection's sake. Let's see. House and Trance. I only own one acetate. That's awesome. What? Yeah, which one do you have, if you don't mind sharing? I love acetates. I think they're super cool. Oh, that's awesome. One Sided Judge Jules remix. Awesome. Cool. All right. Yeah, let's go to the next one. So this is actually funny. I think Joe Stein and I were just talking about the that Armin's first A State of Trance CD, and so I think this was on there. This is the Infernal Machine realistic. Um, I'm not sure what's on this side. Oh, no kidding. That's you. Awesome. Nice. I didn't realize that was you. Your channel's great, by the way. I gotta say, it's super well organized with all the. You got all the old Global Underground tapes on there. I haven't had a chance to listen to any of those, but yeah, really nice work on that. So that's awesome. But yeah, I think this is on that A State of Trance, that first the Armin 001 A State of Trance. So yeah, super cool. I'll take this one out too. I think this one comes from Dave Seaman's collection. And this might actually be the first acetate I have cut from this place, from the Masters. Does anyone know where that's from? Kind of looks Norwegian or something European there with the address. If anyone knows, yeah, let me know. But yes, super great track. What's that? Is that spam? That's funny. Let me see if I can remove that comment. Yeah, super cool. Yeah, I really I can respect how much hard work it is to, put up all these CDs. So yeah, really nice job on that. Um, and it's better these days too, because I when I first started this channel, so I actually had a channel before this, and honestly, at the time, I was just trying to upload stuff that wasn't on YouTube already, and so I was just putting up CDs here and there, and none of the Magic CDs, they might have been up at one point, but I noticed one day they weren't up. So I uploaded all the Magics and some other CDs, but like yeah, I was I think I made it up to like 800 subscribers at the time, and it was never really about the subscriber count anyway. But and then one day I got a copyright. I got like three copyright takedowns all in the same day from Black Hole Recordings for the Magic CDs, and so that was it. And uh, I think one of them had like 70,000 plays. Um, so yeah, that's what happened to me. So then I restarted, and I didn't upload those CDs. Um, oh, no kidding. Yeah, so Arnie reached out. Yeah, so and that's fair enough. I can understand them not wanting it out there, but they're like 20 years old, and they weren't on Spotify. They weren't. Uh, you couldn't listen to them anywhere unless you went out and bought the CD. So I'm not even sure how Black Hole was going to make money from it, unless they were going to reissue it or something. Um, that's nice. He took the strikes back. Yeah, I didn't think at the time to reach out. I just kind of restarted and but yeah, that's super cool. Arnie's a guy I'd love to talk to. He was pretty like he was right there next to Chesto during those early days, and if anything, he might have been even more of a driving force creatively when it came to like the Forbidden Paradise and Lost Treasures, um, Magic, Insurgent Sunrise, all that stuff. So I would love to talk to him one day. All right, here's the next one. Here, actually, I'm going to take these stickers off because I think those got added on recently. I'll do it later. I did it before; they come off easy. But yeah, this is Junkie XL and Amethyst. So that's the cool thing with these one-offs is like you have no idea what's on there. This is definitely from Dave's collection. So Dave would get all the early tracks, and he would go to um, this one's from Masterpiece, which is one of the mastering houses in the UK. So he would go there and get this cut. Um, I don't I don't know off the top of my head. I think these were like $80 to cut back then. So like that's what it would cost to make one of these. So he would go in and do that, but it was the only way they could it was the only way they could play these tracks out in the club, right? Because it was before the CDJs. So super cool, and I think a lot of them too were like he might have had them cut specifically for the recording of some of his famous mixes, like the Global Underground and the Renaissance. Um, right? So imagine that, like you have a Global Underground CD coming out, so you go get an acetate cut. It's perfectly clean, like I said, super close to the master, so it's going to sound great on the mix. So let's see what this is. So here we've got Junkie XL 0 to 9 Slacker mix. That's awesome. It says Slacker mix 1 actually, so I'm gonna have to give that a listen and see which one it is because um, and that's the other thing with these acetates. Like usually it's gonna be the same as like a subsequent release, but they use these like working titles. Um, so yeah, and then on this side it just says Amethyst Mix. So I'm not sure what that. I'm actually gonna go on Discogs real quick and look at this um, to tell you what that is. Just one sec here. Let's see. Slacker, Junkie XL. Oh, okay, here it is. Okay, so this side is it's actually John Vesta Coaster, and it's the Amethyst remix of that track. Um, so yeah, that's pretty cool. And the other thing I noticed Dave was pretty good about his labeling his records here. So he's got the key and the BPM written on all of these, which is super cool. So put that one back in. And after I clean all these, I put them in the plastic sleeves, and sometimes I replace the inner if it's not in good shape. But that one looks like it's in pretty good shape. Um, let's see here. Oh, hey Willie, glad you could make it. Yeah, just saw your comment there. Um, Google account says your channel inspired me to upload a bunch of old trance albums. Years past, forgot about the channel. Oh man. Well, I'm glad I was able to inspire you. I think I think a lot of this music, like it should definitely be out there. I couldn't believe when I was first finding all this stuff that it wasn't on Spotify, it wasn't on Apple Music, especially these days, because that's the only way I think 90% of people are consuming music these days. So they don't even know what's out there unless they do the research, which if you face it, most people aren't going to do. Um, yeah, here's another one. This is another acetate. This is PQM. I think it's the Flying Song. Let's take a look. Oh, this is the other thing I really like about these masterpiece acetates is like so this is actually like a sticker. and so that each one of these has like a different sticker on them, and you see the same kind of patterns every, like I'm not. I think that I've seen like maybe 3 or 4 different stickers, but you get this really cool Renaissance inspired one, and then this kind of more abstract sticker. So it's super cool to see this on the old slates. And I think Masterpiece, they definitely always did a really good job. There's actually one thing I don't know is why sometimes they would go to Masterpiece and then other times they'd go to to like this blue in here. That's 777 Productions. So it's a question I wanted to ask one of these DJs the next time I talk to him. Um, but yeah, see this one, the inner is kind of, it's got this weird stuff on it, so I might replace that one. Um, and you can see the record itself, like it's got some marks, but that stuff cleans off. Okay, so here it says PQM Beat Sika, the Flying Song, Marcus Schultz remix. Very cool. And on this side, we've got the Express 2 remix. Awesome. Uh, I I'm not sure if this one was featured on a CD. I know one version of the Flying Song was, but yeah, that's super cool. Glad to have that. I'm gonna try and go a little faster. I keep getting distracted on some tangents, so because we got a ton of records to go through here. Um, okay, so this one says "Glow to Diddley," or no, it's huh. Oh, Juliet Rising. Let's see. I thought that was Freelance Icebreakers. Okay, yeah. So we got Diddley Squat Gloat. So that's one of Dave Seaman's projects. So yeah, really cool to get like these records straight from the man himself because these were iconic at the time. He was a label boss of Stress, so he had all these first. Eros, Euphony, Juliet Rising, super cool. Yeah, yeah. Don's saying there's a lot of old school stuff that's only on YouTube. Exactly. I'm really surprised, honestly, from a business point of view, that they haven't digitized all this stuff. But maybe I don't know, maybe they have done the math and it's not worth it. All right, let's see what this is. This is another old mastering house. So another cool thing I've noticed too is like a lot of the older acetates were cut at different like places, right? So Whitfield Street's one of the older ones. Now I'm not sure if it's because it got renamed to some other one. So, for example, the we haven't seen any yet, but this cutting house Heathman's used to be tape to tape, and then they renamed to Heathman's. So maybe this got renamed to another one. Uh, I'm not sure, and I think maybe Whitfield Street might have even been named something else before it was named this. Um, but yeah, let's see. So this is Inner Self 12-inch club mix side A. Not sure. Beat Foundation Shelter. Uh, hmm. Yeah, I'm not sure what that is. Um, One of the most intriguing acetates, unreleased Papa mix. Oh yeah, that one's super cool. And if it's the same acetate we're thinking of, I think there's only one. But on the other side, it's got the Winds of Change Part 3 from Sunday Club. So yeah, that's one I would yeah, that one's really. I emailed Mark Mitchell, just trying to get some info on it. I wasn't asking for the track or anything. And actually, he got back to me pretty quickly, and he said, "Oh, I'm super busy, and he said, but yeah, I'd love to chat about it." But then I haven't heard from him since, and that was like a year ago. So I followed up a few times. So hopefully one day we can learn something about it. Yeah, Winds of Change one is definitely my favorite. I think of the two. Um, Okay, let's see what we got here. This is Eros Euphony Dreams and Dominion the Gate Renaissance mix. Um, yeah, so Eros Euphony, that you see this a lot on the some of the old Stress compilations. So it was definitely like an in-house, one of the label producers. I think probably I picked this one up more for the Dominion track. Um, but yeah, that was super cool. All right, here's another masterpiece slate. We got it just says Y Tracks Remix. Oh yeah, this is awesome. Saints and Sinners. I think this is gonna be pushing too hard. Let's take a look. Okay, so here we've got Timo Maas, Ubik, the Techno. Oh, it says do not play. I wonder why. Um, okay, here we go. Yeah, Saints and Sinners, pushing too hard. That's a absolute classic. Um, let's see. Sometimes when they say do not play, they also have this habit of like taking a knife or a razor or something, like a pair of keys, and like scratching, like basically cutting that size so you couldn't play it. Yeah, so you can see like hopefully the camera can pick it up. There's like a bunch of these like swirly, like purposeful scratches on here. Um, yeah, you can kind of see it. It's like definitely done on purpose because it's all over. Um, funny thing is, I it doesn't stop me from playing it. It's probably not good for the stylus, but I'm always curious what's. Sometimes those sides aren't labeled, so I'm curious what's on them. And honestly, it plays back fine. You just get like a pop noise every second, um, but yeah. So if I had to guess, maybe this was an acetate that Dave was playing out a bunch, and it probably just got worn out to the point where he wants to remind himself not to play that side. If I had to guess, um, because uh, especially like back then, like you start with the acetate, but eventually you get the promo, so you don't need to be playing the acetate anymore out. Yeah, it could have had a skip too. Yeah, that's a good point. All right, here's another gloat record. Hold on, let me. Just want to see if I can get these stickers off. All right, one sec. Yeah, see, look, they come off super easy. You just gotta. I think they put them on there to make it easier to remember what they're selling. There we go. So yeah, we got Ming and Doll's Head. So I think this is a Brothers in Rhythm remix. Let's see if I can get this out. This one's kind of stuck in here. Jocelyn from Singapore. Hey, awesome. Glad to glad you were able to make it. Yeah, this one's really stuck in here. See this? Some of these have like these markings on them, so sometimes the sleeves can get stuck in. I won't worry about taking the sleeve out, but I can get the record out just fine. Um, so yeah, here we've got Doll's Head Underground. I think it's over, it's under on Discogs. That's how it was added, and it's like a Brothers in Rhythm remix. And then here we've got Brothers Love Dubs Ming thing. So you can see like these are, you know, usually working titles and whatnot on these acetates. So super cool. But real possibility that these were like the first physical copies of some of these tracks. Um, how many records so far unbuilt? Honestly, not too many. We've only gone through. I haven't been keeping a running count, but we still got plenty to go. Um, yeah, we're on this box of. I think it's a big box of acetates. Let's see what else here. Ian from Darlington, England. What's up, Ian? Glad you could make it. Oh, we got 15 people in here. Awesome. Oh yeah, let's see, Dave Pierce lockdown live streams. That's awesome. Trans lives matters. Transaholics. Yeah. Yep. And honestly, I don't know how it is for you guys across the pond, but here in the States, like I don't know too many people that really listen to this kind of music. See you, House and Trance. Glad you were able to come in. Yeah. Euphoric Unicorn from the Discord here. Hey man, how you doing? Um, yeah, glad you could make it. Um, okay, here's another one. It says Opal on it. So you know what? I think this one was used on one of the Global Underground mixes. Uh, I'll just put an asterisk there too, because um, I, when I first started buying these acetates like 2 years ago, I got a couple from Dave that they were Global Underground tracks. But I remember I asked if I was like, do you know, were these the copies actually used on the mix? And he's like, honestly, I don't know. They could be. They might be, because like I mean, in some cases, he had like the same track cut to like three different acetates. So it's hard to know which one actually was used on the mix. And it's also possible he would have just cut it to play out in the club. Um, Unbuilt aura. So acetates are essentially test pressings for tracks before they get promos. Um, yeah. So well, essentially, well, they had different purposes. So yes, they were reference cuts for how a track is going to sound before they actually send it off to the pressing plant. Because the last thing you want is to master the so Masterpiece, right? This is Masterpiece. It's one of the uh, mastering houses in the UK. This is actually a weird label because it's black. Usually it's blue, but anyway, so Masterpiece, they've got the facilities to master a track. I think they're even still around. And they don't just master trance and house records. They master all sorts of stuff. There was a George Michael Masterpiece slate that I saw on eBay. The guy wanted like $5,000, which is absurd. But but yeah, so they've got all the equipment. There's really expensive gear to get the mix sounding just right. And then they've also got this big machine called a lathe, which you start out with this disc and it's blank. It has no grooves on it, and they put it on the machine, and it's got a vacuum underneath that like sucks it to the platter, so it can't move. In other cases, there's another hole here which is used as like a drive hole, so you'll have two spindles, so it can't slide. Um, and then the machine has a sapphire that will cut the record grooves into it. And so once they're done with the master, they'll cut an acetate as a reference, and they'll put it on the turntable right there and play it. And if it sounds good, then they feel confident to send it to get some test pressings made, right? Um, so yeah, I'm not sure if they do this every time, but they definitely do it some of the time, because the last thing you want to do is send out an order for test pressings, and then they all come out crap because you didn't listen to how it was going to sound beforehand. Okay, so here we got Opal the Snake, which I think was on Global Underground. It was either Buenos Aires or Cape Town. So yeah, really cool. And this just says PR7. I'm not sure what that is. Um, I've got a few acetates that just say, like, he would write these like initials. I think it's I'm just gonna look this one up real quick. We'll see what it is. Let's see. Okay, so the other sign is it's wasted, and the track is called Decoy with a hyphen. And I think wasted. I'm just gonna click on it. Yeah, it's Christian Parkinson and George Thompson. So I've noticed for other, I think Christian Parkinson, he'll write like PR. I think PR7. DJ Quantum. Hey man, glad you could make it. Um, and we've been going for over an hour. Wow, this is going longer than I thought. But yeah, I'm glad you guys could make it. I just thought it'd be fun to open this and no, yeah, going back to what I was saying before, like growing up here in the States, like I didn't have a lot of friends who were into this kind of music. These days, I've been getting out to more shows and I've been meeting a lot of people, so that's great. But even a lot of people I meet at some of these shows, the younger crowd at least, are not uh, as well versed in the history of the music. But they respect the music, they like it, so that's awesome. But yeah, growing up, a lot of my close friends, they're not really into this kind of stuff. So it's all right. Let's see. This is another one where the sleeves kind of stuck. So usually I'll have to get that out and then replace the inner. But but yeah, here it's we got Highland No Way Out. This was definitely on the Cape Town mix. Um, this track, but it might not be this acetate, because this one I know they've had at least three or four of these acetates cut with that track on it. On this side, we got Brothers in Rhythm Skedaddle. So it's actually I think it was a Gloat Skedaddle when it released, but here it says Brothers in Rhythm. So that's pretty cool. I'll put that back in here. I'm not even sure if we're halfway done with this little box, and there's a whole nother little box, so we might be here for a while, guys. All right, so here we've got kilohertz, and it says Nova Project. So here we've got West on 27th original mix, and we've got Nova Project Go Low. Yeah, this is a classic. I think this one was used on Renaissance Awakenings. Um, I think it was the original mix on that one. It might have been the what's that remix? Help me out here, guys. The famous remix. Um, I have an acetate with that remix as well from Nick Warren. I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, that's a classic. Tribe Called Kilohertz. Yep, yeah, that's the one. Thank you. Um, yeah, I seem to recall they're similar to one another, the two mixes, but the Tribe Called Kilohertz, I don't know, it's got a little more something to it. Okay, this is a super cool one. If I This one I think was one of the pricier ones in this bunch. Yeah, also on Communicate. Yeah, I'm not sure. Sasha and Digweed, I think more so. I think Digweed's kind of. I think he's still got most of his records. Um, Sasha, there were a couple acetates out there that I got from some people, and they said, "Oh, I got this from Sasha." Um, but yeah, I think Digweed's maybe sentimental about some of his, which is great. But I would love some of what he's got. Um, yeah, this is yeah. So sometimes you get just a little sticker like this, just as party animal. I'm not sure where the stickers came from, but this is the seduct. I think it's got Seduction of Orpheus on one side, Tilt, and then on the other side it's got Southern Sky, which I don't think was ever pressed to a vinyl. I think it was only a CD release. Um, so this is rare in that sense that it's the only 12-inch. I had to double check on Discogs, but yes, yeah, it's definitely rare. So we put that back in the sleeve. That's funny. So he keeps him in Florida. It's actually funny you say that because the one acetate I have that the guy told me when I bought it, he said he got it from Sasha. He was from Florida, so he sent it up from Florida. Um, okay, this is cool. Yeah, sometimes they'll have so yeah. This is tape to tape. This is the first one of these we've seen, and like I said, they got renamed to Heathman's. But you can see down here it says like Unit B Heathman's Road, which is where the Heathman's name came from. And so I think maybe in this box we'll see a Heathman's cover, and then you'll see it's got the same address. But they used to be tape to tape. Now these guys I really like because they had this great habit of putting the actual date that this thing was cut on the label. Um, so you had like the exact day, and much of the time it was, way before even the promos came out. So yeah, we got a Junior Boys Own sticker. So I have a feeling I know what this one is. Um, okay, it's not what I thought it was, but it's Underworld Cowgirl, the Irish Pub in Kyoto mix. And there you can see right there, it was cut May 19th, 1997. And that one looks to be single sided there. Junior, the Chemical Brothers. Yeah, I'm not too. I haven't dived deep into Junior Boyzone. I think I better get this right, but I think it's is Junior Vasquez's label. I think so. I just made that up, but it sounds right. Okay, here's a cool one. This is a prayer to the music, Northern Exposure mix from Marco Polo. So this, yeah, I think this one was famously used on, I think it was Digweed's Renaissance collection, mix collection two. Um, so Digweed probably would have had it first, but yeah, this is an early copy that's which Dave got. And on this side, it's got the Equator mix. So yeah, that's super cool. It's definitely not Vasquez's label. That's funny. All right, let me look into this Junior Boyzone. Let's see. UK-based brand specializing in death. Yeah, okay. I don't know where I got that from. Probably just because the junior was in there. But I said I thought I would. I thought I was gonna get that wrong. That's funny. Yeah, I don't know too much about Junior Vasquez. I know he did a lot of remixes though, and there was that one on Northern Exposure that was really good. All right, here's one. So here's another tape to tape, and you can see they use a different color for the sleeve, which is fun. We got some splotchy stuff back here, but that's fine. All right, here we've got Brother Brown, Under the Water Breeder remix. So that's classic. This one was cut in 1999, April 21st. And then on this side, we've got the Breeder dub. Awesome. Man, we still got a lot of these to go through. Hopefully, you guys can stick around because it definitely makes it more fun for me. Um, okay, this just says Other Side Sasha. So I'm not sure what that is. And then here it just, okay, Amethyst the Tempest. Um, Junior Vasquez had his own DJ booth at Twilo. Was no one was allowed to use. Yeah, I heard something like that. I think well, because before it was Twilo, it was the Sound Factory, right? I think, and think I think I read somewhere recently that was he a part owner of the Sound Factory? Um, yeah, I'm not sure. But I read this funny story once that it was in some old magazine. I saw a picture of it online, and Sasha was saying that like he was playing at the Sound Factory, and like he was opening up for Junior or something, and and then Junior showed up, and then like all of a sudden like a whole additional wall of speakers that was turned off when Sasha was playing went on, and it was like and then he said they kicked him out of the booth so quick that they wouldn't even let him grab his records, and that Junior didn't even say hi. I thought that was that was a pretty funny story. Um, but yeah, so we got Amethyst, the Tempest. Not sure what's on this side. I'm just gonna check real quick. Let's see, Tempest acetate. Oh, okay, it's Maria Naylor, and it's the other side, Maria Naylor, but I guess Sasha produced the track. Um, awesome. All right, put that one back in the sleeve here. Okay. All right, this one is Ritmo G13. I think this was on Renaissance Awakenings. So if there's only one acetate, like for example this G13, I think this is the only acetate with it, then I'm gonna assume that it's the one that Dave used when he recorded the mix, which is super cool. Um, so yeah, you can see it's got these markings on it. That's fine. It's just from like the way it was stored over the years, humidity and whatnot, because these are metal. But this stuff usually cleans right off, so I'm gonna clean it. That's my weekend project. Actually, on a separate note, tomorrow I'm supposed to see Solar Stone playing in Brooklyn, New York. So I'm supposed to go to that. That should be fun. I'm not really too caught up in what he's playing these days, but I heard he came out with some track recently. Um, I think it's called Hope, but it sounded pretty good. It's like it's that whole pure trance he's doing, but I liked it. So, and the venue is pretty cool. I like this venue, Quantum. Do you think you'll ripping vinyl for any of these? Yeah, I'm gonna rip all of these. I gotta tell you, it takes a long time because, well, first I have to clean them, and I'm very thorough with it, just because I'm like OCD or whatnot. And then, but I just like to film them, especially the acetates because they're not because they wear out. I don't really want to be playing them a lot. Maybe one day I'll do a mix with them, like a turntable mix with them, just to have a nice like solid mix. But usually I'll just play them in, digitally record them, and that's it. So I like to set up um, video cameras. Um, I like to set up the video cameras so that I can just like record it, put it up on YouTube. But it's nice to have the video because then it's like, you sit down you're on an airplane or something, and you could watch the video. You can watch the record spin almost like you're in the living room putting a record on. So that's that. Will you make vinyls from them? Um, not sure what you mean. Do you mean will I like try and cut them, cut like another copy? Is that what you mean? That's something I've thought of if it's possible to do. I'm not sure how clean the source recording has to be in order to make one of these. But if it was possible to go into a mastering house and cut one of these rarer tracks onto another acetate that I didn't have to feel bad about playing, then maybe I would do that. Okay, this one I think was used on Buenos Aires, Global Underground. So this is the light opium. I think it's a Distant Places mix. Um, and then this is the Slacker Dream mix. I'm not sure if it's the same track. Let me just see. Opium, Distant Places. Oops, I meant opium acetate. Oh, okay, here we go. So this is opium. Okay, so this is just the light opium. Sorry, I'm confusing it with something else. And it's Slacker, What a Dream. That's the name of the track. I can see it there in pencil now. What a Dream. Um, awesome. So we'll put that back. Okay. Stoneproof. Can't really read that. Quiver remix. She does. Oh, okay. It says she does. Yeah. So this one, I think this was used on the Renaissance Awakenings. Quiver she does. Yeah, it's got the working stone proof artist name there. Super cool. VC recordings. All right. Yeah, we got some cool. We got a Domsky here, so that's going to be the opener to Buenos Aires Disc 2. What's the name of it? Yeah, One of the People, the Force Mass Motion remix. And then here we've got Bedrock, Beautiful Strange. 12 minutes there. Yeah, I'm trying to pick up the pace here because we still got so many records. I thought there were more actual vinyl in here too, but yeah, maybe this box has all the acetates and the other one's got all the vinyl. All right, this one's a Domsky. Oh, this is another copy, I think. I wasn't sure which one was used on the mix, so I kind of wanted all of them. Yeah, this one, Adamski, One of the People, Force Mass Motion mix. But then on this side, it's also got, it says CJ and Gab 12 Miles. I think that one would, it's Narcotic 12 Miles. So that's a super cool track, actually. Yeah, Narcotic's great. Does it have the Quiver alternative mix? I'm not sure. I think it was just it looked one-sided. So it might have just been the original mix. Um, let's see. Okay, here we've got Gloat, Warp, and Venus and Mars. Great track from Sander Kleinenberg. Maybe my favorite track from Sander Kleinenberg. It's just, I don't know, super interesting track. Just like a lot going on in it, but it works perfectly. I think the first time I heard it was on that kind of one-off Renaissance progression mix, which was mixed by, I think it was Alan Bremer, aka Loafer. Um, yeah, that was a great double CD, and it was Progression Volume One, but they never came out with any others. So, but yeah, that was the first time I heard this, and I think that mix might have used an edit of this track because I think it jumps around a bit, like a shortened edit. But I almost kind of like how it is on that mix CD better. But yeah, great track. And then on this side we got Gloat Warp, classic, you know, Dave Seaman track there. Dave Seaman produced track. Okay, here we got Warp again and Bedrock. But let's see what the B side on this one is. Beautiful Strange. Huh, wait, I'm having deja vu. Gloat Warp. Maybe there's a different. Hmm, yeah, cool. I think Warp was also on Renaissance Awakenings. So yeah, one of these was maybe used on the mix. Yeah, Fluid was a great label. I think a lot of, correct me if I'm wrong, was a lot of that Christian West stuff come out on there. So like Eterna and uh, what else? What else did he do? Like the Amethyst, like the remix of uh, man, what's it called? There was the Nacious remix of it, and then it'll come to me. Okay, here we got Ambassador and Freefall. And let's see, it's Freefall, Skydiving. Oh, Skydive. Yeah, that's the one. I think he had to tune off, but House and Trance. He was saying Freefall, Skydive. That's the one that initially was the Miro. It was the Papa remix of Miro's Paradise, and then it turned into Freefall, Skydive. And so we got the Mara remix on here. Big fan of Mara. That's I think it's Barry. Who's forget? I'm just checking real quick. Barry Gilby. So like you hear Papa and Gilby. That's Gilby is Mara. Okay, and here we've got Ambassador Fade, the Oliver Lieb remix. That was used on Global Underground, Buenos Aires, I think. I think it was a closing track to one of them. And Lieb is just he's an expert. He's a master. Okay, this is a rare one here. Um, Copy masters. You don't see a lot of acetates from here, at least not in the progressive house trance realm. What do we? Oh yeah, this is super cool. This is Perfect Motion Sunscreen, and it's got the Farley Heller mix, but then we've also got, of course, the oh, it says left field vocal mix. Oh, okay, interesting. Farley Heller mix. Just gonna check something real quick. Let's see. Interesting. Oh, okay. So, okay, so the Farley Heller mix is the Boy's Own mix, and it's produced by Terry Farley and Pete Heller. So that's like the famous mix. Awesome. And that's what Digweed closed his Montreal Live In CD with after 9 discs. Super cool. And this is actually the first time I've ever seen a Copy Masters outer sleeve. The back of it is actually pretty cool. All right, I think we're down to the last 2 or 3 in this box. Yeah, it's a really great track. That Perfect Motion. It's a real journey in that track, and the vocals are great. Usually, I'm not too crazy about vocals, but like that track does it right. Um, let's see what this is. Madonna Jaguar. Oh yeah, this one was cool. So I got this one primarily. I was mostly interested in the Jaguar track. So let's see here. It just says FGT. Okay, I'm not sure what. But yeah, this side's got the famous DJ Rolando, aka the Aztec Mystics Jaguar. But if you look at the duration, it's and it said on the listing that it's got some exclusive edits that I think Dave put together in a DAW or something for his sets. So it's different than any of the released versions. So I'm excited to see that, and you can kind of see the grooves here. It looks like there's a couple breakdowns. Um, so yeah, stoked to hear what that's like. And then the other side, I'm just gonna look at it real quick. Look it up. Want to see if they're like acapellas or something. Okay, so then yeah, okay, so this is Frankie Goes to Hollywood, and that's Welcome to the Pleasure Drone, Nolan and Kane remix, and then this is Madonna's Music, but it's the Victor Calderon beats. So I'm thinking it might just be like stems from that, which is awesome. So I'll put that one back. This one's gonna need a new inner sleeve for sure. Okay, and yeah, there's only two. Is there two? Oh, there's 3 left. Okay. All right, here we've got Libra and Quiver. I can't read the top because of the sticker, but um, let's see. It's got this is the Quiver remix of uh, Anomaly Calling Your Name. Yeah, super cool. And then on the other side we've got the Amethyst remix of Tungsten. I'm not sure what that is. Look that up real quick. It's it's Aircom Red Cloud, the Amethyst mix. That's what that is. Yeah, so I'm not sure where tungsten comes from. These acetates always have the working title, so it's super fun. You never quite know what you're going to get. And also, there's a chance that I listen back to some of these and they might be earlier versions or something, which is always cool. Um, Here we got Brothers Love Dubs, which again became Gloat, and it's Warp again. um, and then we got PQM The Flying Song. I think this is the original mix, whereas that earlier one had the Marcus Schultz mix. Awesome. All right, and we're down to the last one here, which is I'm surprised we didn't run into any Heathman's acetates, but I think there's some in the other box. So let's see. Okay, is this a Metropolis? Okay, this is another Copy Masters, and this one is Spirits Don't Bring Me Down. It's the original mix. I really like the Chris and James remix of this track. Um, yeah, I would have loved an acetate of that because I bought. I think that one only came out on. It was. Let's see. Sorry, let me just find this real quick. Yeah, it was on the remix culture. So they came out these remix from DMC, and I bought a couple copies of it, but each time the record was not sounding that great. Like it was great. It was the grade was worse than it advertised. So, but yeah, the inspired that remix. So I got the original acetate there, and that's it for this box. So let's go. Yeah, third warp copy. I know it's because I'm not sure which one was used on the Renaissance, so I wanted to have them all. But they've also got different B sides and stuff. Um, that's the other thing. Like if the acetate's not in pristine shape, then the intro might have some noise and whatnot. But if I got different copies, then I can digitally kind of combine the best takes, which is cheating maybe, but it results in a pretty good file. All right. So here we've got another box. Just trying to get it out from here. This is the last of it, but this will probably keep us going for a little while longer. So maybe we can go a little quicker on this one. Um, let's see. Still got 10 people. Nice. All right, I'm going to move all these. And these are heavy. It's hard to pick them up now that they're all stacked like this. So I'm just gonna piece by piece kind of move them. Okay. All right. So here's an interesting one. I only have one other acetate from this mastering house. I don't really know too much about it, but Stone's Throw Mastering. They like these little 10-inch ones. This is some kind of Talking Heads remix. I remember ordering this one. This one just popped up for sale one day on Discogs and said it was some kind of remix of Talking Heads. Said it was unreleased, I think. So I just picked it up. So yeah, we'll see how that sounds. It says this one started a little in. I'm not sure if that's because maybe. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's got seems to have a run out and then like something here, but then there's like another run in. Interesting. So we got that. This one is interesting actually. This one popped up for sale one day on eBay, and they said it was an acetate. Like they even wrote it here. They said acetate, but it's not an acetate. It's a test pressing. I figured that out pretty quickly, uh, but you can see it's this nice test pressing, and the track is that Marco Polo that we had on the one of those slates there. But I asked the seller where they got this. I said, "Where'd you get this?" And she said, "Oh, John gave it to me." And I was like, "What? John Digweed?" She's like, "Oh yeah, I'm lucky to have known him. Like he gave me some records." So that's super cool. Um, So I'm not gonna take a leap and say that this was used on any famous CD, but supposedly it comes from Digweed's collection, so that's awesome. Again, can't really verify that, but seems likely. Okay. Oh, this is really interesting. I've never seen a townhouse sleeve like this either. So this is another acetate. This is the Trail of Sevens pendulum. I think this one just popped up for sale one day, and I figured, okay, I'll grab it. Pendulum. Yeah, it's single-sided. This is what I was talking about earlier. How they have the extra hole sometimes to lock it in place when it's cutting on the machine. I'm just gonna go like that. Okay, here we've got Riva Club Mix. It's a masterpiece slate without a sticker on the front. Um, let's see. Yeah, Kelly Alley, Inferno High Love, Riva Club Mix. And that one's it's got something on the B side, but there's no label there, so interesting. Okay, here we've got Time is the Healer, Hiver and Hammer, Mainstream Mix, Riva. Yep. I think these ones were pretty cheap actually. So, okay, here we've got Beach Cocoa, Intro, Summer, Kick, Outro. I'm not sure what that is. Oh, Chris Coco and Stonebridge, The Beach. Yeah, it's a cool progressive tune. Cut in May 20th, 1999. That one's single sided. Here, finally, we got a Heathman's one. So, yeah, like I was saying, and actually, that's perfect. Look, we got them consecutively. So, Tape to Tape uh, became Heathman's. They renamed sometime in the 2000s, because this was cut in 1999. But I know a lot of the 2000s stuff came out on it was in Heathman's. So you can see right here, 19 Heathman's Road, London, and if we go to the back here, I guess they changed they went from 19 to 7, but they definitely it's definitely the same uh, mastering house, because you stopped seeing tape to tape in the 2000s. And just like tape to tape, Heathman's also continued to put the date on here. So you can see this one's April 8th, 2002. I'm so used to reading it as August 4th, but they flip it. So yeah, this is 2002. And this is I Feel So Fine, KMC Feet, Danny. Yeah, the one thing I wish they kept doing was the different color sleeves. Like once they went to Heathman, they all look like this. Still pretty cool though. All the breeder stuff was cut at Heathman's. All the official breeder stuff. Okay, this is cool. This has like a PR sheet. So this is a nice clean test pressing or white label. It looks like of says Holmes versus Alter Ego. We got a PR sheet here. Let me just take that out. Don't want to crinkle it or anything. Oh, this is really cool. Handwritten note. Artist David Holmes versus Alter Ego. Title Patrick Kraut, Demonic Arousal and Dodgy Style. The label is Heart House. So that's Heart House Records. June 26, 1995 is the release date. Recorded in Germany, 3 days in, I think that's the name of the town, to be precise. The result of the dangerous combination of David Holmes' Acid Jesus, parentheses, alter ego, clean living Americans, and a lot of whiskey. Patrick Kraut is a deep techno groove with a effing, what does that say? Good, with a fucking good bell noise in it. Demonic arousal. Be cautious. It probably will. Probably. And Dodgy Style. Saucy track, but if you play it on the radio, mind you, read it correctly. Interesting. A 3-track EP combining the best from Ireland and Germany. An interesting concept that certainly works. Chris, Gareth, and Martin. White Noise Promotions. That's cool. Not sure who this was meant for, but that's a cool note. I like these handwritten. It's like going back in time almost when you read these. Okay, so we'll put that one back. This is another acetate. This is Black Hole Recordings. It says Space Age 3 sample on there. DJ Montana Groove Lounge Method. And on the back we've got the Diaz Brothers Lothario. So that's cool. Okay, here we've got, this is an acetate too. I've never seen one from here. Exclusive Mastering Laboratories. Desert, Lose It to the Sound. I think that's it. Single-sided. Oh, we haven't seen any of these yet. This is a Loud Mastering acetate. Nick Warren seems to love Loud Mastering. I don't think this isn't one of Nick's, but he had a lot cut here. A lot of the early Way Out West acetates were Loud Mastering. So I wonder if they mastered a lot of that stuff. But let's see. Oh, this is really cool. Here, check this out. Dave Seaman, Therapy Management. Please find enclosed acetate of the Force Mass Motion Mix of Venus Inc. Complicated. This mix is part of the package for Convert Records. Convert 02 to follow the Sam Mollison release. Guy are now phone to say the CDR we sent you needs re-recording. We'll resend you a new CD within the next few days. That's awesome. Hopefully that address is not still in use. Probably should have covered that up. That's okay. All right, here we've got Martini and Hardcore present We Gotta Love, Walk With Me, Loud Mastering for Stress DMC, Dave Seaman. Sabrina Pope, We Gotta Love. And then here, Walk With Me. Cool. All right, we got the Master Room, Dino Lenny, White Horses, and yeah, the text kind of faded on this one. What is that? Bum Bum Club Remix and Let's Groove Club Mix. Dino Lenny. These are great. I love the Metropolis acetates. This is Metropolis. Koshin Hungry, Arista Records, Satoshi Tomi Vocal, and the dub. There's another Heathman's. This is Austin Leeds, Three Monkeys. Let's see. We got Nutmeg and Crazy People. Okay, we've got Innate Roots Rock, Baroque Records, I think. That's the Cry Tough Dub Vox. And here we've got the Trippy Disco Dub. This is an old looking tape-to-tape one. Tipple Discoveries. Tipple's Quaker Dub. Tipple's Precious Edit, exclusively for Conviction Management. 1997. Limbo Records. Here we got the Real McCoy, Come and Get Your Love. Tape to tape. That's a really old looking tape to tape logo. I don't know how long they did them like this, but this is Junior Vasquez dub and vocal mixes. Do they have the date on here? I don't know if they have the date on this one. Yeah, this must be really old because you never see this logo. They always look like this. All right, let's see. Okay, this is a Renaissance tune. This is actually I think this was on. Yeah, I think this is Renaissance America, mixed by Dave Seaman. It's got Rainmaker. I think both these songs were on there. Let's see. Novocaine, Rainmaker, The Storm Mix, and Escape Cascade Part 1. I think both of those were on Renaissance America. So this likely was the copy used to make it. I was trying to get this back in the sleeve here. Oh, it's also on Nick Warren's Global Underground 11. Awesome. Which one was 11? Was that Brazil or I can't remember. This is cool. We got Polarity and Rhythm Reigns. I heard these on some mix CD. I can't remember which one. See, Polarity, Symmetry, and Rhythm Reigns, Fuel. So yeah, definitely. I think I got this one because I like that Symmetry track. Can't remember what CD it was on. Budapest. Okay, that's GU11. Awesome. Okay, here we've got Push. Some of these, I don't think some of these are Dave's. I think these are just other ones. Push, Till We Meet Again. That said, you never know because if you look at the handwriting, it all looks very similar. So I've got a theory that most of the acetates on Discogs actually were Dave's because I know there were some of his that went for sale like long time ago, maybe 10 years ago, and then there's the more recent batch. This is another copy of "Come and Get Your Love," second attempt. Interesting, but yeah, it's got that same old. Uh, looks are those different mixes? Oh no, it's got the junior on this side. Huh. Yeah, I think I saw both of these for sale, and they were like $5 each or something cheap. So I figured, why not? All right, now we're getting into records. Um, okay, okay, this one I'm excited about. So uh, this is "Stay with Me Till Dawn" from Lucid, and there was an acetate I got from Nick Warren from his collection that had it's like I didn't recognize the track when I played it, but it was really good. And I did some digging, and it turned out to be, I think, this Translucid Sunrise remix. But if you look on YouTube, at least this a few months ago, there wasn't like a full version. And the guy commented something. He was like, "The full version can't be found anywhere." But then I went on Discogs and I found this. So I was like, doesn't doesn't seem that hard to find. So we'll see if it's the same. I assume it is. But yeah, really great remix. Great vocals, great piano element. Um, so yeah, excited for that. This is kind of funny. This isn't trance or house or anything, but uh, so I remember I sent this to my friend's house, and he said this came for you. He's like, "Is this hip hop?" Like, it's like, "Did you mean to order this?" I think, and honestly, I don't listen to too much hip hop or anything, but so Nick Warren, I have it here. This is an acetate from Nick Warren's collection, and it had like a staircase track on the A side, but I'm just trying to get it out of the sleeve here for you. Um, this one's stuck in there, but yeah, on the back side of it, it was crossed out, and there was no label. Um, but I played it anyway because I was curious what was on it. So you can kind of see here, like, see, there's somebody crossed a big X into it, as in like, don't play it. But so I played it, and and you can kind of see on here, there's like different sections, and each one of them is like a different track. So somebody at the mastering house must have just been like, I don't know, maybe they were testing the machine, like warming it up or something, but they cut like various sections of these uh, unrelated tracks, um, and I Shazammed them, and so one of them uh, is some rapper named like El Ray, I think, but the song's called Bush. But then the second section here is a song from these guys called Bush Corner. So I don't know if the guy like whoever was cutting this on that day, they just like maybe they're going alphabetical, and they had one song that they mastered called Bush, and then they had the other Bush Corner. It's kind of funny. And then there's like another one here which I wasn't able to identify. It's kind of like an instrumental, kind of a back instrumental hip hop beat or something. But but the Bush Corner track, I don't know. I kind of thought it was kind of fun. Like the background, um, like the backing track was actually pretty well produced. Kind of cool stuff. So this vinyl actually I think has an instrumental of Bush Corner on here, which I couldn't find online. So so yeah, but even with the vocals, it was actually pretty good. So check it out. Um, so I'm just gonna put this back in the sleeve real quick. Okay. All right, let's move on. There's not too much left. I know we've been on here for a while. This is went way longer than I was expecting, but thanks for sticking on. So here we got Slacker Psych Out, um, test pressing. It says forthcoming September 1998. Not sure which mix of Psych Out it is, but always love Slacker. Oh, wow. I didn't realize I ordered this. This is a classic fax 4969450464. Really great label. I'm trying to remember the founder's name. It was Pete Namluk, whose real name was Peter Coleman, but he passed away. I want to say the last 5 years or so. But yeah, I mean, this was a really great label, and they go back even to I think the early '90s, and he was still putting stuff out up until like 2015 or so. Like I mean, right up till he passed away. Um, they had a great series he did with uh, I can't remember the name, but the CD series was called Labyrinth, and it was only from like I want to say like 2011 or something, but really great stuff on those Labyrinth CDs. Specifically, the Labyrinth Two, the last track on that CD was fantastic. This kind of down tempo with like a guitar. Um, I highly recommend checking it out. But this track is actually pretty explosive. Really kind of abstract, old like techno. I'm not even sure what you call it honestly, but yeah, this Escape to Earth track. It's really great. I actually used it in a mix a while back, which is on the channel. It's at 1990 Mix 2. Inspiring name that I chose for it. But so yeah, glad to have it on vinyl. Okay, this is the Svensson and Gielen remix of Free. Yeah, white label. Oh yeah, and then this is the last one. It's just a sealed copy of Way Out West Tuesday Maybe. So we got both the sealed CD and the vinyl. So there you go. Awesome. Well, I'm glad you guys stuck around for this. This took way longer than I thought it would, but yeah, definitely made it more fun. Um, I guess real quick before we sign off, I could just show you the cleaning machine because I know somebody was interested in it. So this is it's the record cleaning machine that I use. Um, I'll turn it this way. So it's not plugged in, obviously, but it's got the buttons here. So this is the vacuum on off, and then this is for the direction, so it can turn clockwise or counterclockwise. And then you put the vacuum on top, and um, and I use this cleaning liquid here. I use this stuff, which really gets the job done. It's a little pricier, but honestly, I did so much research back in the day, and it was just a major headache. You had all sorts of people saying, "Buy this, buy that." Mix it yourself, wash it in the sink. Basically, the one thing that everyone agreed on was don't use anything with alcohol in it. But then you got people who say they use stuff with alcohol in it. So I don't know. This is what I use. It works. Um, but yeah, that's yeah. I've actually tried the wood glue trick myself, and I was actually impressed with it. The way it peels off like that. But usually, if I have a record that's like in bad enough shape that I'm trying that, I've found that the wood glue doesn't seem to help that much. But yeah, no, I mean yeah, it's definitely a legitimate method. Um, awesome. Well, that's about it. Yeah, I'm surprised we've almost been going 2 hours here, so appreciate you guys sticking around. I'm not sure. I think at one point we had like almost 20 people in here, 15, 20 people. So, um, but yeah, Joe Stein, thanks for coming. I figured I thought you'd be interested in all these, so glad you could stick around. Um, and yeah, Don, good to have you here. Awesome. Yeah, Dale, thanks for joining. Yeah, a while back, I actually when I got all of the Nick Warren stuff, I filmed myself kind of opening it and going through it because I was planning on posting it, but then I just never got around to editing all the clips. So yeah, maybe I'll it might be something that I work on this weekend or something because there was a lot of cool stuff in there. But yeah, anyway, thanks for joining. I'm gonna sign off now, but we'll have to do it again sometime soon.